Hi everybody, my name is Birgit and I'm meeting with you from Liverpool, which is in the UK. I wanted to respond to the assertion that what is taught is what is learned. I agree. Now let me explain why. I agree because as a teacher is going to be focusing more on learning the rules of a language and the grammar and the structure and the vocabulary, then that's what the student is going to learn. And they're going to learn that rather than a wider context and the application of a language. If, however, the teacher incorporates much more language practice, if the teacher follows a more an 80-20 approach, which we learned about in the class, then the student gets much more practice, the language is applied, and they're going to learn it more like sort of natural learning, the way children learn. Let me outline the 80-20 approach. So this is an approach where for 20% of the time, the teacher focuses on the rules of the language, the grammar, the vocabulary, any sort of structure, architectural structure of a language. And the other 80% of the time, the teacher will step back from the rules of language and use what the students have learned in the first 20% of the time, and there will be more of a practice of language. So that might utilize things like the spaced repetition approach that we learned about in class, or other ways of getting the students to creatively engage, and ways of encouraging the students or the language learners in general to have the courage to use the language, to not focus too much on the particular details of correctness, but rather bring a feeling towards the table and encourage fluidity over absolute accuracy. And now I wanted to share with you my own experience in language learning. For a good long time, I was a student at a school where teaching was predominantly by rules, grammar, repetition, but without a lot of practice. So we learned a lot of the structures of the language, but did not really get to apply it an awful lot. What it resulted in for me was that I wasn't very confident, and I also didn't do very well, and I didn't really learn very well. I remember from the videos we had here in the classroom, there was this one little piece where someone went home and then showered off all the knowledge that they'd just gathered. That's pretty much what happened to me about before I even left the classroom. I got lucky and I changed schools, and by a pure stroke of luck, the teaching methodology at this school was completely different. It was really participatory. Students were really involved, really included in the class. Students were often asked, what do you think? And we had a lot of these types of creative examples that we've seen maybe a few glimpses of already here in the classroom videos. And for me, that worked really well. I built courage to make mistakes. I got so excited that I didn't worry about the small mistakes I might make in a language, and eventually I became fully fluent. So that's where I've seen the classroom theory that we're learning here in direct application in my life. Well, I hope to see you soon, and good luck with your class. Ciao!